This dish is 100% green. It's kind of an inspiration of the forest. Moss has 12 components and it takes 2 hours to make. So I'm gonna be inspired by it, but just keep it really simple.
Big Reynold,
Hey guys,
what's going on?
I'm doing my signature dessert called moss. So I'm going to compromise a little bit, make it a bit more simple, so that way I can get everything done in time. So I got a pistachio Monty, which is like a mousse, eggless mousse, caramelized white chocolate diplomat, lime curd, lime yogurt snow, and matcha ice cream.
What are you thinking, Andy? Sounds pretty fancy. Is this on the menu at Koi?
Yeah.
Still? No.
Still.
No excuse for a banging dessert today then, is
Nah, bringing out the big guns.
it? Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
This is not the moss version that I sell, but it is the integrity of it. It may not be a new dish, but it's something I know the judges haven't tried yet.
Whew, got me. I don't think I've ever worked this fast, except for a really bad Saturday service. So, I'm so messy. I'm so messy.
It's not like even taking a breath.
This moss dish is 100% green. So I've got my curd done, caramelized white chocolate mixture in the fridge, and I've got my pistachio Monty in a mold in the blast freezer. The next thing I start working on is my matcha gelato. To churn my gelato in the MasterChef kitchen, it's gonna take too long, so I'm playing a little bit strategy here. I'm gonna use liquid nitrogen. I want to work quickly, and churning in the nitrogen takes less than 2 minutes.
Getting to top 5 is so important. I want to get into that immunity cook and get that immunity because I've had a lot of rough cooks. This is kind of time for me to really step it up.
Can't believe I've managed to get everything up and I have time to assemble. It's really important to get the assembling of this dish perfectly because there's beautiful hidden layers inside this dish. When you break into it, there's an unexpected component in there, which is the salted caramel with the lime curd in the center.
Okay.
I can't believe I managed to pull off 8 components of my moss signature that actually takes 2 hours. Condensing that in 75 minutes, I'm pretty proud. This is not the full version of moss, but I really hope that this is a top 3 dish because this is a dish that I've worked on for so many years and have been so proud of. This is a dessert that really represents me.
Okay, Reynold, what's the dish?
So yeah, I've chosen green, and it's called moss. It's a pistachio Monty with lime curd, vanilla salted caramel, caramelized white chocolate diplomat, lime yogurt snow, matcha crumble, and a matcha gelato.
I think this looks lovely. I think there's a lot of interesting texture going on. I like the muted palette as well.
Reynold, I am not a huge matcha fan. Putting that aside, the composition of the dessert is beautiful, the flavors are fantastic. The textures that you've got in there and the layers of texture, the little crunch from that disc that's in there is fantastic, and then the lightness of that frozen nitro yogurt just freshens it all up a little bit. If this is anything to go by, and I don't like matcha, I really want to try the real one.
It looked like such a simple dish, a delicate dish, but a simple dish. It's totally different when you put it in your mouth. It's like, here we go on this like flavor roller coaster, and it all works really, really well together.
I loved the textures. I loved that very fine little chocolate disc that separated a couple of the elements there, and then the crumb on top. You know, it does look like moss. It's incredibly evocative to look at. I think everything is really finely balanced and very, very sophisticated. I think this was pretty perfect.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Reynold.
Good job, Reynold.
I was so scared they wouldn't like me.
Where will you go?
Good luck, Ray.
What's he gonna pick?
What's the strategy here, Reynold?
There is definitely no strategy at all. This is just pure luck.
It's the ultimate lucky dip.
I do like that today is all about a game of chance because I am a bit of a betting man.
I'm gonna hedge my bets.
Ooh.
This one.
This one has some nice light. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, shall we find out? Ready?
Let's do it. What is that?
What is it?
It is Madeira.
Madeira. Oh. Yes. Oh, that is so good. That's great.
Are you happy?
I'm very happy.
He's stoked, the big fella.
Madeira.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one because it could be sweet or savoury as well.
Madeira is a fortified wine and it's really beautiful in kind of classic French sauces, but it's sweet enough that it works really well in dessert as well. So I think it's a nice first pick.
Okay, now to pick its partner.
There's no way that I can tell what's what. I'm just gonna have to go by gut feeling and instinct.
Where are the vibes coming from?
I'm going with this one.
Reynold, that was mine.
Not anymore, Po.
All right, let's find out what it is. It is fennel.
I can work with it, but I don't like to cook with fennel.
If you are not happy with one of the things you've chosen, you can pick a third, but you know whatever you pick next, you have to use, and you can't go back to this. So are you a betting man?
Do you pick a third or would you go those two? Probably go those two, I reckon.
Oh, is he a gambling man?
I won against the top 5, so I really want to win this immunity today.
I'm gonna change it. Changing the fennel.
All right, swapping out the fennel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hedge my bets on a third choice.
Okay, let's go shopping. What would your dream choice be?
I would love to get a citrus.
Citrus.
Yeah,
This is so suspenseful.
I'm going with this one.
Ooh. Which one?
Please, it's gotta be citrus.
And he's assuming the position. Tell him what he's won. It's dates.
I got dates.
It's freaking dates. I don't like to cook with dates. I hate eating dates. They're so sweet.
Happy?
No, I'm not happy.
Would you have preferred your fennel?
I think so, yeah.
I can't believe it.
Oh, man.
I could have had fennel.
Okay, Reynold, you have Madeira and dates.
Yep.
It's going to be a sweet cook for you, my friend.
To really hit the brief today, we have to highlight our ingredients. They have to be forefront flavors of our dishes. But I got dates and Madeira wine, sweet and sweet. And I've got to make a sweet and a savory. I'm not sure how to feature Madeira wine in a savory dish without it being just a sauce. That's just a side component. So I am gonna reverse it.
Okay, now I'm ready.
I'm gonna use my Madeira wine into my dessert, and I'm gonna use the dates into my savory.
Oh, Reynold, what is that? I'm gonna make a date puree with the savory.
Oh, nice.
So I'm hoping it'll just be the sweetness and the flavor of dates with a lot of savory notes around it.
Reynold,
Hi, Mel.
Madeira and date.
Yes.
These are fantastic ingredients in my mind because you can go both sweet and savory with
Yeah.
these. What
Yes.
are you doing with them?
My sweet with my Madeira ice cream with brownie and a Madeira veil. For savory, I'm cooking a date puree with mushroom, quail, and a brown butter potato foam.
Look, I've been looking forward to one of your savoury dishes because you haven't done one in a while, and I think you do fantastic savoury. It's, dare I say, almost as good as your magical sweet.
Oh, thank you.
Today we get best of both worlds. Focus on top 5.
Okay.
One of the 3 of you will be.
Yep.
Why not you?
Thank you.
I do think about my competition, there's no room to hide at all. Po, the OG MasterChef contestant, the most experienced out of all of us. She's a household name. And Laura's got her own restaurant. It's incredible how she works. If I win immunity today, it will mean so much to me because my next goal is the top 5. And from there, I know I can win this competition. For my savory dish, I'm cooking quail and shiitake mushrooms with a chicken reduction and date puree with a brown butter potato foam. It's all about hitting the brief. The date's gotta be prominent, but it's so sweet. So I'm hoping with the chicken stock and echalot's gonna bring some savory notes to it.
Oh, hell yeah.
It smells great.
Pretty good.
Madeira wine is also quite sweet. I need that to be the forefront flavor in my dessert. The next thing I start working on is my Madeira veil. It's like a jelly kind of sheet that goes over the ice cream. I want to have this veil onto my dish because I want to enforce the Madeira flavor from that gelato and also a beautiful presentation and texture.
It takes a lot to win this immunity. It really does. Done, 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 done.
I've got to bring all my dishes together. For my sweet, I haven't done my Madeira gelato. I need to churn that. So I'm going to buy as much time as possible, so liquid nitrogen is going to save me a heap of time.
What are you doing?
Making the, churning the Madeira ice cream. It's looking pretty good.
Done and done.
Is it very Madeira-y?
It's Madeira.
I think this is the best gelato that I've made in this competition.
That's actually pretty good.
Things are coming together and I'm feeling pretty good. Now it's time to put all my savory components together. My quail's cooked and it's been resting. Slice it in half and...
Spit over.
So how's your quail?
That's overcooked.
Bloody hell. We're in the top 6. There's no excuse for overcooked quail.
Oh, there's the veil in all its glory.
Yes.
All right, Reynold, what's your savoury dish and what is your sweet dish?
I chose dates to feature in my savory and Madeira for my dessert. Savory dish is shiitake mushrooms glazed with some chicken and mushroom reduction, date puree, and brown butter potato foam. And for the dessert is a chocolate brownie with Madeira gelato and a Madeira veil.
I was excited to eat quail because I've been half Italian. Quail's one of my favourite. I knew you were cooking quail today, and of all the people that would bring me awesome quail, Reynold, is you, so I can't wait to try the quail.
I overcooked it.
So you could have done it, but you
I
overcooked
could have
it.
done, yes.
Your gut feel as though it hasn't impacted the dish.
I love the flavors, really. The date will bring sweetness to it because it would have added another layer to hide the dates.
I'm guessing that you were feeling the pressure of getting in the top 5 today.
Yeah.
All right, mate, do you want to finish them off?
Yes. Thank you. So that's the brown butter potato foam.
Got it. One taste, mate.
Thanks,
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Okay. Savory to you. I loved the dish. I mean, this brown butter potato foam, it was potatoey and brown buttery, like those two flavors were very, very discernible and really cohesive, and the texture was like aerated velvet. It was just, you know, you want to wrap yourself in it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then the rest of the components, that turbo chicken jus was just, it was finger-licking, kind of like lip-smackingly rich. But I can't help but think a piece of quail grilled beautifully, you know, with the dates, it would have been even better, but as it stands, it was delicious.
Yeah, in terms of the savoury course itself, I loved the flavour of it. It was delicious. forefront flavour was umami, and you got this little sweet aftertaste, which was obviously from the dates, but if the quail was on there, it would have been all the better for it. I think, actually, it might have brought out the flavour of the dates a little bit more. I'm disappointed that at this level, he's overcooked the quail. He shouldn't have overcooked that, really. All right, the dessert now. That veil that he's done on the top, it actually says Madeira to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. It almost looks like a piece of smoky glass or something like that. I love it.
Quite cool.
It looks really good. Let's tuck in.
Thank you.
Madeira. It's bloody there, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. It is packed in your face of Madeira.
I really loved the flavours in this dish. I thought the deep chocolatey flavour of that brownie was really nice in terms of contrast to that sweet, winey Madeira. The gelato itself was textbook Reynold. It was silky smooth and had a wonderful texture and balance of flavour about it. And then that beautiful veil of Madeira over the top added not only visual interest, but then a reinforcement of that Madeira flavour. I loved it. I thought it was delicious.
Reynolds,
Hi, Mel.
surely this challenge has you super excited. This is your kind of challenge.
I feel like all the challenges that I've done before, I should have just saved it up for today.
Yeah.
The colour, nature, I've already done that. Brought moss the other week.
Moss aside, what are you bringing today?
I'll be doing a dessert that will look like a mushroom with hazelnut, chocolate, and porcini gelato.
Incredible.
I've done these flavors before in the restaurant and kind of make it better.
I'm not going to psych you out on this one.
Yeah.
This is me pushing you to be the best you can be. You've under-delivered a few times based on trying to cram in too much. How are you not going to do that this time around?
I don't want to do too much this time. I think it's like only 6 components.
Yeah.
But it's just all about the assembling of this dish.
That's it.
Thanks, Mel.
For this dessert to look like a mushroom, it needs to stand upright, have the mushroom stalk and the cap, and it's gonna be really tough to do that in 75 minutes. Normally, I would need about 120 minutes to do this dish, and once again, I'm kind of condensing it down to a 75-minute cook. But this time around, I want to go out of my depth and try different things and come up with a new dish that will wow the judges.
Today I'll be cooking with some mushrooms and I'm going to do a dessert, a porcini gelato with hazelnut and caramelized milk chocolate.
The name of my dish is as simple as mushroom. The components are porcini gelato, chocolate, almond tuile, and the hazelnut mousse.
What I really like about this dessert is that I want to make it look like a mushroom as well.
The inspiration is coming from earthiness, nuttiness, like from the hazelnuts, and the really rich aroma and umami of porcini. I want this gelato to be punch-in-your-face porcini mushroom. I want this hazelnut mousse to have that really roasty hazelnut taste. I'll pipe it into a hemisphere mold to put in a blast freezer. This will be a mushroom cap. My roasted milk chocolate ganache is going to be the stalk of this mushroom dessert. It needs to be set and frozen before I pull the hazelnut cap. My porcini gelato mix is really nicely infused and I've added enough salt in there. The hazelnut mushroom cap and the chocolate ganache stalk. I'm stretching the almond tuile and I want this kind of look like a leaf for a bit more of a dramatic effect. This is it's coming together nicely. If everything sets perfectly, then I know I'll be able to do well today.
Are you still using the blast freezer?
I've got one more thing in there. I'll grab it out now, actually.
Yeah, one of my stuff might not come out.
I check on my ganache and is not set at all. This little mushroom stalk is causing me so much stress and it's the only one I have.
How are you travelling?
It's a close one, Andy.
It's a close one.
Yeah.
Hey, you were cruising before.
I know, it's just the timing. I should stop
What's
cruising.
happened?
Just my component is, how do I say it? It needs to freeze
Does not set.
Nah.
What component is it?
The stalk of the mushroom.
Oh. If this stalk doesn't set, we don't have a mushroom.
I do not have a mushroom. It's like a poop.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, brother. Sorry, Reynold.
Oh.
My ganache mushroom stalk looks like poop. I'm not sure I'm gonna fix this, so I'm just trying to think in my head, but then it clicks. I need to pour this in liquid nitrogen.
So that's the stalk. Is that the top?
This is the stalk, yeah. The top is already in.
I put my mushroom stalk ganache in a bath of liquid nitrogen to kind of really freeze and set, and then I brush chocolate on until it has those streaks of what mushrooms would have. Everything rides on this one mushroom stalk. I'm taking a huge gamble on this one component.
1 minute to go.
Cutting it fine, huh?
Very.
I've got my hazelnut cap on my stalk to make it look like a mushroom, and it slides off. I mean, oh my God, please don't crack. Now pressure is really getting to me.
30 seconds to go, come on!
This mushroom is doing my head in. This is really, really stressful. This is the last final moment. If I really screw up now, all that efforts of saving my mushroom stalk was for nothing.
Reynold, explain the dish.
It's called mushroom. Porcini gelato with milk chocolate, hazelnut mousse, almond twirl, chocolate swirl.
Mate, you're full of smiles, aren't you?
Yeah. It was really stressful, as you can see from my apron. Probably one of my messiest cooks, but happy that I got it up.
You said it was going to be a mushroom dessert.
Yeah.
It looks like a mushroom. It smells like a mushroom. You were, I think it's safe to say, right down to the line, though. Did you think you bit off more than you could chew there for a second?
But there it is.
Look at it. That looks like a mushroom stem.
Reynold, I couldn't imagine a mushroom being able to taste more mushroomy. Porcini is the key flavour in there. You'll be pleased to hear through that ice cream. Texture of the ice cream is fantastic. The milk chocolate mousse in the stem is brilliant, encapsulated in that white chocolate on the outside. It looked like a mushroom stem, it's fantastic. That twirl, what are you calling this?
It's just a pulled almond twirl.
Very good. Presentation-wise, that's one of your best dishes.
Thanks, Jock.
You get a huge punch of mushroom as soon as you eat it, but then it just glides with you the whole way through all of the different layers of chocolate. That could be your, I'm going into immunity tomorrow, because that blew my mind.
Talk about mushroom magic, the balance of the bitter chocolate, the white chocolate, the hazelnut, the almond, the fine tuning of the sweet and the salty, and for me, that little bit of lime zest that's still playing around on my palate. I freaking loved it.
Oh, thank you.
Well done.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much.
The judges love my mushroom dessert. I'm so stoked because this is me. This is the stuff I love to cook.
So good.
Oh, so good.
Reynold. That mushroom was one of your best dishes in the competition, mate, so well done.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. A heavy load.
Oh. I think if I can pull this off, this is definitely going to be the most beautiful dish I've ever put up.
This is a load.
In previous cooks, I've taken inspiration from my childhood, from colors, from nature, from other countries, and fashion and art. But today, I've taken inspiration from Harry Potter. I have been saving this dish for this moment. I'm going to make the snitch.
This dessert has 8 components. A brown butter mousse, honey twirl, a milk ganache, tonka bean caramel. Also going to do yogurt snow sorbet, which is with pear, and a kind of like a caramelized white chocolate crumble.
This concept of mine, I've got to make sure every single flavor and texture goes perfectly well. The first thing I get onto is my brown butter mousse. The brown butter mousse is going to be the body of the snitch. It's going to be the ball, and in the center will be a tonka bean caramel. So when you break into it, it's just going to ooze out.
I definitely got to get motoring. I can't slow down. Can't slow down.
So today I'll be making the snitch, which is inspired by Harry Potter. I'm really happy with my brown butter mousse. It's velvety, and I get it piped into a mold and into the blast freezer. The next thing I start working on is the roasted milk chocolate ganache. This ganache is going to be the glue. It's going to hold the wings of the snitch.
Hey, Mel.
No pressure. What are you doing?
Today I want to do something a little bit unique. I want to do a little Harry Potter inspired dessert. It's called the snitch.
Harry Potter.
Yes.
Yes. Love it.
Good, good, good.
I'm imagining, obviously, a golf ball-sized golden sphere. Bigger than
Yeah,
that,
so
okay?
it's a little bit bigger than
Okay,
that.
will it have wings?
Yes, it will have wings.
Okay, excellent. Golden snitch, I mean, it's the thing you want to win. It represents that other golden, round, shiny thing over there. Is this thing going to get you that thing?
If I can pull it
Or
off.
at least into the top 4, right?
Yes, if I can really pull everything off, Mel.
Well, I think that if you can bring the fun and the adventure and you can bring that technical perfection that we know that you're capable of, this could be a bit of a game changer, dare I say.
Yeah, I hope so.
Very cool.
Thanks, Mel.
This dish will hopefully look amazing, but if I screw it up with the timing and my prep, I will not get anything up.
Caramel center, mousse, chocolate coating.
Wings.
It's actually a really quick, easy recipe. Come on, Reynold.
Hearing that Reynolds got 8 elements in this dessert is a bit nerve-wracking.
Really good stuff.
But for me, there's a massive metaphor with what Reynolds doing today. In Harry Potter, when you catch the golden snitch, you end the game. So I think if he's able to pull it off and fully plate up this dessert, he's saying, sit back, have one.
It does feel like Reynolds' challenge to take.
Reynold.
Hey, guys.
Mate, you are going like at the clappers today. What are you making for us?
I'm going to be doing something off Harry Potter called the snitch.
Oh,
The golden snitch.
The snitch.
What is the snitch?
So it's small, it's got little wings, and it goes...
Okay. So, all right, now I know what the snitch is off the movie. What is your snitch?
It's going to be a brown butter mousse with a tonka bean caramel center, coated in chocolate and sprayed with chocolate, a honey twirl, a yogurt snow with pear and yuzu sorbet.
You got to pack all those flavors into something that big.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's got to be tough.
It is pretty tough. Well, as soon as you guys said you're throwing out the rule books, I was kind of hoping for a 3-hour cook. Of course, that's not going to happen here.
When you guys got in your huddle, did you go, hey guys, what about 3 hours?
I mean, the more the merrier, right? I mean, yes.
How much are you thinking about that top 4 spot? We know the stats behind it. It's huge.
I came 4th, so I want to beat my position.
Means a lot to you. This
a
is
lot
like
of pressure. Yeah, 100%.
You're the only dessert today as well.
And it's not just any dessert, this is the big gun that I'm pulling out.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
what could go wrong?
Everything.
I'll leave
Timing,
you with that.
assembling, everything.
The next thing I start working on is my tonka bean caramel.
This.
Tonka bean, it's a really exotic kind of, I guess, herb almost. It's similar to a vanilla and you treat it like a vanilla. This tonka bean caramel is the center of the snitch. It's gonna sit inside the brown butter mousse. So when you break into it, it's just gonna ooze out. The tonka bean caramel looks really good and it's smelling really good. I put it into a piping bag and then pipe the tonka bean caramel inside the brown butter mousse.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Next thing I need to start working on is this honey twirl. The honey twirl is gonna be baked in a silicone mold that's like a feather, and it's gonna act as the wing for the snitch. To make the honey twirl, have some brown sugar, honey, and butter in a pot, and melting that together. After I've made my honey tool mix, I put a small amount into the feather mold and spread it as thin as possible. The honey tool is really important. It's not only going to add the look of the snitch, the flavor of it as well, and texture is very light and crisp. I think the hardest part about this dish is having that effect of the wings as if it's flying. So I hope these turn out well.
Halfway through, I've got my honey twirl in the oven. Brown butter mousse is in the freezer.
I've made my white chocolate crumble, and now I'm gonna make my chocolate spray by melting some chocolate and cocoa butter. I'm making the chocolate spray because it's gonna be the coating for the brown butter mousse sphere, which is the body of the snitch. I'm gonna dip it in the chocolate spray and then spray it with chocolate to give that velvety effect so I can brush it with some gold.
Is this like the body of the snitch?
Yes.
What's really important is I don't want a smooth surface because when I'm brushing the gold, if it's smooth, it's gonna have condensation and it's just gonna melt off. The body of my snitch is done. It has the right texture, the layers are there, and not only that, I've brushed it gold and it's holding on.
The snitch looks really impressive.
Only thing left I need to do now is prepare and use the sorbet and yogurt snow. Once I have everything done, the assembly is gonna be so important because that's what's gonna make it look like the snitch. I grab a scoopful of my pear and yuzu sorbet in the middle of the plate and make a little well, a bed for my snitch body to sit on. Once I've got my snitch body, I'm getting these really fragile feather twills. That's gonna be the wing for the snitch. I pipe on some ganache and then stick the twill together. I've got to be really delicate with this dish because it's so fragile and also it's very temperature sensitive.
It looks so good.
The Harry Potter snitch has 2 wings, but this is an inspiration dish. I'm gonna have 4 and it looks better with 4.
Reynold.
I'm really proud of my dish, but I just hope that it tastes just as amazing as much as it looks. I've tasted every little bit of component, but not together. So it is still a bit of a risk.
Can you finish the dish for us, Reynold, please?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, mate, that looks unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'd say it's one of the most beautiful dishes that I've ever made to date. And in the MasterChef kitchen, to actually pull this off, I'm really, really happy. I've been saving this one in the bank for a long time.
Talk me through it, mate. I want to know what it is.
So this is the snitch. Inside is a brown butter mousse with a tonka bean caramel coated with chocolate. On the outside is a ganache holding the honey tool feathers with a pear yuzu sorbet and yogurt snow.
Let's taste it.
Cool, thank you. Enjoy.
Thanks, Reynold.
I think this snitch dessert looks absolutely incredible. I mean, it's magic, right? Absolutely magical.
Oh my God, look at that.
Stop it.
There you go. What I think is incredible is that these wings aren't just flat out of the mold, they're twisted and
manipulated so that they
crunchy.
look like the wiggles in
crunchy.
flight and crunchy. Gosh, it's almost a shame to break it.
It's special when Reynold gets up here and he's beaming. He's beaming for a reason, because to pull that off in here, that's next level. Absolutely next level. The really bright sorbet of the yuzu and the pear fills your mouth straight away. But then I was just like searching for that tonka bean brown butter caramel, because that's just what sort of coats your mouth and makes you want to go, hang on, I want to go back for yuzu. So I think it's just, I mean, technically, we don't even need to talk about it, but it is the hardest of hardest when we talk about technique in this very kitchen. He's absolutely nailed it.
This dish is a game changer. It is technical, those beautiful honey twill feathers that I loved the way they sort of bent as if they were in mid-flight. And then just everything inside the ball itself, you know, the tonka bean caramel, that brown butter mousse, you know, everything worked in terms of richness, refreshment. It's triumphant. This is exactly what we live for.
It's absolutely inspired cooking. A1, first class, you know, presentation. But I've got to say, flavor, texture, balance, everything is also A1. It's first class. I agree with him. It's the best dish he's ever made.
Reynolds. Inspired, flavor, texture, balance. It was well worthy of the first spot in the final Congratulations, Reynolds.
Thank you.
This dessert will go down in history as one of the best dishes ever to be cooked in this kitchen.
Thank you, guys.
Well done, mate.
I'm definitely mind blown. It's just an incredible feeling of confidence, and I'm just so glad that I was able to bring out this dish, this trump card today.
Reynold, once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
See you on Sunday.
See you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Good job, Reynold. Well done.
Well done, Ray.
Let's hear it for Reynold and his snitch, everybody!
Looking down at Bonito's mystery box, these ingredients are very British. But out-of-the-box cooking is what I love to do. So I'm gonna take a risk on a French-Japanese dish. This dish could be my pathway into the semi-finals, and I want that. I'm cooking brim chawanmushi with seared scallops, buttered cabbage, and beurre blanc. Chawanmushi is a savory Japanese custard, and I'm going to add in the brim fillets. I'm taking it to the next level by adding a classical French beurre blanc. I've never had chawanmushi with beurre blanc before, but French and Japanese, I love the two together. Japanese ingredients is so beautiful. French techniques, that's like the foundation of cooking. The first thing I do is make a fish stock. It's just fish bones from the brim, some white peppercorns, and fish stock for it to be complex. It needs some onions in there. And I don't have any onions. Massive game changer that we can get an ingredient from the garden. So I grabbed some spring onions. Oh my God, I'm taking the whole damn thing. This stock is so important to my dish because it's gonna be the foundation for my chawanmushi and for my beurre blanc. Today will be a guaranteed spot to the semi-finals, which means I have beaten my last position that I was in MasterChef, which was 4th. Today's final mystery box is set by Gordon Ramsay, and whoever makes the top dish will go straight into the semi-finals. Gordon's mystery box is very British, but today my style of cooking is French-Japanese. Gordon was here on the very first day in this MasterChef kitchen. And I made white noise.
Reynold, you created technical perfection this evening. It's very rare we see a dessert looking so beautiful so early on in this competition.
Throughout the competition, I've done a lot of desserts.
Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, mate, unbelievable.
I've also done a lot of savory dishes too.
It's clever, it's creative, it's really artfully conceived. Absolutely delicious.
I love your dessert dishes, but I really love your savoury dishes, mate.
I want to keep impressing with savory, so I'm cooking chawanmushi with brim fillets, and also buttered cabbage, seared scallops, and beurre blanc. So I'm looking at my fish stock, the fish bones, spring onion tops, and the white peppercorns have really steeped into the water. So it's time to get started on my chawanmushi mix. I'm going to give myself as much time as possible, so I'm going to give myself at least with 30 minutes to go, I'm going to start steaming it.
Let's go 160 mils.
So into my blender, I've got my stock and 2 eggs. The ratio of eggs to the amount of stock is really important because if you have too much eggs, it's going to be overset and not be that beautiful silky sheen that you'll get from a chawanmushi. I've never made chawanmushi with fish fillets in it. There's a bit of a risk, but I want to put the brim fillets in to add a bit more texture and some depth of flavor in the custard.
Oh, not bad. That's good.
So my chawanmushi with the brim is in the steamer, and the next thing I start working on is my beurre blanc. I'm going to use the spring onions again. I add my stock, I add a bit of cream, and then start adding in the butter and whisking it all the way through. I'm looking at my beurre blanc, it's beautiful. It's very velvety, it's got that richness to it. Yes. The next thing I start working on is my spring onion oil and smoked paprika oil. So I'm gonna have 2 very different aroma oils. One's gonna be green and raw with the spring onions, and one's gonna have cooked spring onions with some smoked paprika. I'm doing multiple elements because I wanna show different layers of skill and a lot of complexion in this dish.
Reynolds, how is your chawanmushi going? Are you happy with it?
Yeah. The most important thing with this one is it's not really a Japanese dish. It's utilizing French, Japanese, and also different oils into it.
Great.
Yeah.
If it feels elegant, if it feels effortless, that's really what we're striving for, and that's the best of the things that you can do. And I know savoury is something that you do exceptionally well, and we'd love to see more of. So I'm very, very excited about today.
Thank you.
If it's the best, you're in the semis.
Yeah. Thanks, Val.
I'm up against the best of the best, Callum, Amelia, and Laura. I just need to stand out by doing something a bit different. And not only that, everything has to be perfect. There's no room for mistakes.
Beautiful. Oh, hell yeah. I've made my beurre blanc sauce. I'm going to season it. It's actually tasting really freaking good. And that's going to go together with my 2 oils. And my chawanmushi is done.
Is it set?
Yeah, it's set. Got a good jiggle to it. Fish is in there.
My buttered cabbage is cooking.
The next thing I'm going to do is as simple as cook the scallops.
I've chosen to do another savory dish today because I want to prove myself even more. I came forth in season 7, and since then, I definitely say I'm more of a confident person. I've become a lot more creative and a lot more clear in my style of cooking.
That's good.
So I'm not here to come forth again. I'm only here for one reason, and that's to win. A lot is riding on this dish because if I get top dish today, I'm gonna be in top 3, baby.
All right, Reynold, what have you brought us?
I've made chawanmushi with brim, buttered cabbage, seed scallops, and the sauce there's a beurre blanc with a shallot oil and a smoked paprika oil.
Happy with the cook?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Reynold, loved it. Really loved it. It was such a good depth of flavour and it was full of umami. And then it wasn't like there were big, bright, other bold flavours to go with it. They were really subtle, like your smoked paprika oil, your spring onion oil. They just played their role to be quite cohesive. It was a really creative way to go too. You know, I don't think I would have picked the lid up of Gordon's Boss and gone chawanmushi. So for that, mate, I commend you.
This dish, in many ways, it just describes you. You know, it's something that looks very subtle and elegant and restrained and highly disciplined, but has hidden depths. You know, the custard is perfectly set, it's really silky. The fish broth that you use just adds that really deeply savoury note to it. And those scallops, to just see it around the outside to get a little bit of caramelisation, but maintain the sweetness. The buttered cabbage, another level of sort of richness and umami. It's subtle and it's restrained, but it is very, very powerful food. Delicious.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
I agree with everything they just said. Particularly love the smoked paprika and that oil. Great choice with the spring onions from the garden. And actually, you know, beurre blanc along with a chawanmushi is an unusual choice, but really, really good. So, mate, I've got to give it to you. I've got to give you a well done, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate.
Good staring, Reynold. Keep doing that.
Try and think. There's a lot on the line today, and I do feel pretty nervous because, yeah, okay, I'm doing Bonito, I know.
In season 7, I was eliminated on a fish dish, a Bonito. I overcooked it because I lacked the knowledge. That Bonito dish definitely haunted me for quite a bit.
And then after a while, I just really wanted to make it and know about the fish, how it cooks, how it reacts. There was just this itch just trying to get Bonito right.
Learning from your mistakes and finding the ways to make it successful, and that's the passion. And until you find the moment to fix it, you're not fully satisfied. Today is the ultimate cook. I want to prove to myself and to Australia that I finally understand how to cook Bonito. It's a massive risk and I'm under a massive amount of pressure.
In season 7, when I got out on the dish, we smoked the bones and then made a sauce out of it. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use some of the flesh, make a tartare out of it as well. And then I'm just gonna lightly cure the loin. Then I'm going to flame grill it.
I've definitely got a fire in my belly because of how much I want to get into the semi-finals.
Cook of this fish has to be perfect.
Today I'm cooking a flame grilled Bonito with Bonito tartare and a Bonito wine sauce.
Reynold.
Hey guys.
Bonito. I don't have to remind you, at this exact point in your season, you went home on a Bonito dish.
I know. I just went for it because ever since getting eliminated, I've just been getting Bonito fish, been practicing on it. Yeah, I love it.
This is you digging your big old heels in going, I'm gonna nail this.
In my season, I was just a 20-year-old uni student. To come back here and really represent my business, my family, and what we do, failure is not really an option for me. I need to elevate every element. I want this dish to be one of my best. I've lightly pickled my kohlrabi.
What's that, Reynold?
I'm making a flour.
You're making a flour.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
When I was eating in Copenhagen, I saw how this technique was done, and it looked incredible. Back to win is all about using all the knowledge that you've gained and jam it into your cook.
It's not bad.
Today's dish to stand out, it has to be finale-worthy.
Little Rose.
I'm really happy with my cook so far.
Oh, yum.
I've got the tate, my kohlrabi flour, and my beautiful Bonito white wine sauce. 10 minutes to go, I've got to cook this fish on the hibachi. The technique in cooking this Bonito is like walking on a tightrope. I need that beautiful char on the skin, nice and crisp. But at the same time, I cannot overcook the flesh.
That Bonito is scaring me.
Round one for me rides on this Bonito. I want this fish to be just set, cooked 2/3 of the way, and have it slightly raw.
Come on, Reynold.
Ow. What am I doing? What am I doing? I go to flip my fillet and...
Oh, no.
It got stuck. The skin got stuck onto the wire rack.
I can't use this. I feel like right now history is repeating itself. This is my last fillet of Bonito. Gotta watch it like a hawk, making sure I get the right even amount of heat through the fish. If I don't, it's gonna send me to round two.
I've got a feeling that your extraordinary pantries are going to produce an epic tasting 3 minutes to go. Let's go!
Come on, guys.
I've gotta get this plated up.
Come on, Reynold.
So I take the fillet off the wire rack
Oh, yes. There you go.
and it comes off perfectly. Ooh. The skin is crisp and it's got that beautiful char that it should have.
Hell yeah.
I put the loin of the grilled Bonito and I roll up my tate inside the kohlrabi. I've got my kohlrabi flour next to it and I am super, super, super happy.
Walk me through the dish from start to finish.
It's a barbecued Bonito with a Bonito tartare. And then there's a lightly pickled kohlrabi flour, caviar, and Bonito wine sauce.
Have you made this dish as it is now a few times? No.
When I first saw it there, I was like, I want to use that because I love Bonito now.
How long did it take you to love it?
Probably a good year.
All right. Should we try it?
Redemption
Is it really?
is yours, my friend. Far out. I mean, I remember you telling me what went wrong with Bonito last time was that you overcooked it and you knew never to overcook a beautiful piece of Bonito again, and you didn't. The skin had that gorgeous smoke kind of crunch to it. You have that almost raw, just sort of set texture, and it was soft, it was yielding, it was sort of almost had a melting texture to it, and such a baller move using caviar as a seasoning. Genius, absolute genius. Your sauce is perfect, it's perfectly balanced. Everything is subtle and restrained. This is triumphant food, and you should be so happy right now.
Thank you.
Reynold, extraordinary pantry, extraordinary dish. It's delicious. What I really enjoyed about it was the tartare. It adds such a richness to it. It is really spectacular. And I think just having those pops of caviar and the saltiness just takes me away. Like I'm by the ocean. You've nailed it. Well done.
Thank you.
Reynold, continue that smile, mate, because it was huge success, mate. Redemption is real. You've definitely put yourself in the realm of being put up there for round 2.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
To Reynolds. Well done, Reynolds. You are in the semi-final.
Well done, mate.
Get up on the gantry.
Thank you. Good luck. Good luck.
Well done,
Good luck, guys.
Really well done, mate.
Can't believe it.
This is my first ever to be in the semi-finals. I feel like I'm in the zone. This is my kind of cooking. Yeah, I'm just really excited to get this done.
I'm really happy that it's a Martin Ben pressure test. I have eaten his food. I've read his book, so I know a lot about his recipes. I think this is gonna be a little bit of an advantage. So I'm just gonna go by my instinct because it's food that I'm familiar with. Outside of the red toffee, caramel is starting to burn, but while I add more sugar, it's gonna dilute that over again.
Hey, Reynolds.
Hey, Mel. Hey, Martin.
How's it going? Should this be as...
It's okay. I know we're smoking for a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's fine.
was a little
I've
worried
still
there
got
for
more
a
sugar here to add in.
It looked like you were hammering it very hard, very early.
As in like this or overall?
Both.
I know if it's definitely screwed up, I'll do it again. It's just sugar. But, I mean, looking at it now, it's pretty all right.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy where I'm at.
What is most exciting about this is the energy that you are exuding in this cook, the fact that you are excited.
I'm in the semi-finals. I beat my last position, so I'm really happy about that.
Next goal is
The trophy.
nothing in between. We'll leave you to
Thank
it.
you. Thanks, guys.
I'm just going by my experience and intuition, and I hope it's gonna work out for me today.
We need a lot of space. I'm just clearing out as much as I can.
Next thing to do is the most important part, which is the apple scroll. This apple, it's all about the pressure of that lathe.
Reynold,
Yo,
Wow,
you just got a woof from Martin, and I think that
There we
might
go.
be a good woof.
that is. Look at that. Nice and neat, nice and even all the way through.
it's 2.5, so I think it's okay.
I'm feeling good. I'm really happy that this worked.
Very good.
Thanks, chef.
Now I'm gonna do a second one as a backup.
It's like a lasagna. Still gonna do it.
My apple breaks a little bit, but I've got enough length. I've trimmed the ends of both apple scrolls, make it really neat. So they're one long, beautiful sheet. So I've got 2 apples lathed and laid out. I've trimmed the sides, make it really neat. Now it's time to roll it. This recipe is so precise, so I have to be really careful about rolling up my apple. Oh, it's so slippery. As I've rolled it back up, it looks really tight. I feel like it's sort of in the shape of a cylinder rather than an apple. But I think I followed the recipe for the apple scroll pretty well. So I'm adding the red toffee apple caramel to fill it in. I'm just hoping that it cooks perfectly and that when it comes out, it'll look just like Martin Ben's. While my muscovado leaf is in the oven, I'm working on my sour apple jellies. And those little jellies are gonna go on top of the chantilly cream, which will bring texture and acidity to this dish. It's time to check my apple scroll.
Hot, 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 hot.
Looking at my apple scroll, it's just fallen flat. What the hell's going on? recipe doesn't look like an apple. I don't feel pretty good right now. If it's not like Martin Ben's apple, it could be me that's going home. I'm a little bit panicked now because I'm not sure what to do.
So it's sipping.
It's kind of collapsed a little bit, and it doesn't have that perfect apple shape.
This is so hard.
I'm thinking maybe the mistake that I've done is rolling it up super tight, and it didn't fill up the mold. I have so much left to do. So I can't do this process again because I don't have time. I've just got to go with it. So I'm going to follow as per the recipe and get it back in the oven. Hopefully I can shape it on later to make it look like Martin Ben's. This apple, it could be the difference of making it to the finale or not.
Reynold,
Yes.
talk to me about leaves. Where you at with your leaves?
Raspberry leaves are done.
Yep.
I've got my muscovado twirls all done. I've got spares as well, and they're looking really, really good. I just need to fry my persimmon and pumpkin twirls now.
The third leaf is the pumpkin and persimmon leaf. I've cut out a few different options of the pumpkin and persimmon leaves, and I'm frying them. They need to be beautifully golden and savory and crispy. I'm spending a lot of time with the leaves, but I know that these are so important and really integral to the dish. Martin Ben's pumpkin and persimmon leaves, they were fried, but they weren't oily. And I'm looking at mine, they're actually quite oily. Brain. So I want to put them into the oven to kind of dry out a little bit and drain all the oil. I know the recipe doesn't say this, but I'm doing this because I don't want to have oily pumpkin and persimmon leaves. This is definitely a risk, but I want to get as much oil out as possible. Everything needs to be cooked perfectly. The muscovado and raspberry leaf, I've got them all printed and they look great. The pumpkin and persimmon leaf, it's drying out. Apart from the apple, I'm really happy with what I've done. I'm on a roll now.
Reynold, how come you've still got leaves in there?
No, those leaves are they're dehydrating.
They're dehydrating.
Oh my God, that's not a good idea, is it?
I think I made a big mistake. The leaves have lost the shape and the imprint.
I was stupid enough to leave the leaves in the oven a bit too long. So what happens is it starts to set.
If I don't fix these leaves, I'm probably not going to be in the grand finale.
Make sure they got nice
Stamp.
You don't want to lose that.
So while the pumpkin and persimmon leaves are still hot, I need to reprint and reshape them. I really wish that I didn't put all of my pumpkin and persimmon leaves into the oven. I wish I just had some extras out. I think they're looking okay. I just hope that I haven't ruined them.
Keep working here, Reynold. Keep going, mate.
I have so much left to do. I need to make the miso toffee sauce. I've got to whip my chantilly cream, dice my raspberry and apple jelly, and make my chocolate stem. It's like, I need to speed up. I get my apple out of the oven. It still hasn't formed the right shape.
I mean, this one I'm gonna go for because it's the bigger one.
So the only thing I can think of is to add some more red toffee caramel to make it rounder.
Just need to make this nicely shaped. What the hell?
I know it's wrong, but I can't really fix it. I could be done. But I need to keep going. Keep trying. Keep fighting on. I can do this. I can do this pressure test. So it's time to work on the chocolate stem, and I'm not even gonna look at the recipe. I remember the way the stem looks.
I think that's a good one.
You only need one, mate, yeah.
Just want to make one really nice one.
Good man. Come on, bring it home strong, mate.
Yes, chef.
I set my chocolate stem aside, and now I've got to quickly whip my chantilly cream. The chantilly adds the creamy component, and it kind of offsets the savory and crispy component to the dish. I've done my chocolate stem, whipped my chantilly, diced my jellies in record time, and now I'm finishing the miso toffee sauce. This miso toffee sauce is really important because it gives us the umami flavor of the dish, needs to balance us out. It's all coming down to these final minutes. I know I've made mistakes today, but I just hope that's enough because I am thinking about that grand finale. We're so close. There's just a few more steps to go.
Good luck, Ray.
Thank you. This is a back-to-win season, the best of the best, and now I'm just thinking how much I want this and how important it is to win that title. For me to go home now would be devastating, so I'm going to give everything I can into this last 5 minutes to make it perfect.
Hey, Reynold.
Well, Reynold.
Hello, Reynold.
I'm shaking. I feel the nerves.
All right, mate, your 5 minutes starts now.
I'm worried about the shape. So I'm glazing the apple with more toffee to make sure it's the right color and to give that beautiful, nice shine to it. I feel like I am so close to the last stretch of this competition.
That's 2 minutes down, 3 minutes to go, Reynold.
And MasterChef is all about being able to push yourself and kind of not give up. That's one of the biggest key ingredients to win MasterChef is to never give up. This is my moment to show the judges that I'm worthy for a finale.
60 seconds, Reynold.
I grab my chocolate stem, trying to brush it with the cocoa. And it breaks. I can't believe I'm just shaking so much during this plate up. This is not like me.
This is actually so much pressure.
10 seconds.
I get another one. And in the last seconds, I get the stem into the apple.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, bring it over, mate.
Oh man, you killed me over here.
I held my breath the entire 5 minutes.
Reynold, keeping the pressure going right to the very last second.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, all that stands between you and the grand finale is this dish right here. How do you think you went today?
Smoothly until I popped open that mold and realized the apple was meant to fill it. So these little minor things can send anyone home. But besides the shape, I think the texture is quite similar.
Talk to me about winning. Why do you want to win this?
Before coming for this tasting, it's sinking in how important this is. I haven't had an easy life as an immigrant. I'm not the kind of person to kind of talk too deep because I keep it in a little box to kind of back it away. So you'll never see me get emotional until I speak about it. My mum and dad, both very hard workers, my brothers as well. Yeah, it's one of those things like, no matter how hard my family works, there's always something that kind of knocks us down.
Take a moment, take a moment.
I hate this.
Take a moment, take a deep breath.
Yeah. Like we do have koi. People think it's successful. It is. It's great. I guess there were moments where we took the success for granted. I'm not going to go too into much details, and now there's a lot of things that we're trying to keep our head up high, try to maintain our image. People see it as like, oh, this bar product is so great, but why is it we're still struggling? So that's the saddest part about this business. It's like, hospitality industry has never been easy. I didn't come on here for the fame or anything like that. I came on here because I love to cook. The only thing I'm good at is not, it's not studying. I wish I was. I really wish I was.
Join the club, mate.
Exactly. So winning, it's not about the title. It's more about like being able to give back to my family.
I've got to say, mate, it's inspiring to hear you open up about it, and there is no greater driving force than your family, especially at times like this, where obviously it's tough for your business and at this time in COVID, and it's been tough for the industry as a whole, let alone our pastry business, so I can only imagine.
You made me emotional saying that. I mean, look, there is that part of what it means to be a migrant kid and to not feel like you fit in and to feel like you have to push against so much to get to where you are going. And I don't want you to forget the amount of people out there that will see you and see what's possible. Don't discount the hope that you give for everybody who is really pushing to realise a dream. It really has just been the most incredible thing to watch you up close and to really understand why you do what you do, because the motivator it's huge.
Reynold, no matter what happens, mate, we are all extremely proud of you. The only thing left to do is taste it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Reynold.
Thanks, Reynold.
Look, apart from the obvious tiny apple, I think the dish looks really, really lovely. The colours especially, those raspberry twirls look extremely good. And the stem as well just sticks out. It looks like a perfect, real apple stem, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Even the way that he's cut it at a 45-degree angle, it looks like it's just been plucked off the tree.
Very, very skilled work. But the apple is a little bit smaller than what I put on the plate.
How's it feel?
Feels good.
This is a big tasting, isn't it? There is so much writing on this mouthful of food.
At this end of the competition, it is point degrees of distinction between each of them. And I think however he got to the tiny apple, it still looked the business. It was glossy, it was shiny, it had some bite to it, which was really lovely. I had the small persimmon pumpkin leaf, and mine was really crunchy and really fantastic. The raspberry leaf, I think, has to be the best one of the day.
Yeah, to make that raspberry the right acidity is a magic.
Yeah.
Where I got unstuck was the bitterness of the caramel. It wasn't as bitter as others. You just didn't get that with Reynolds. It was nice to start, but then the sweetness took over. I think he really went hard on that caramel early, and then it started to really burn around the outside, and then he's diluted that with his sugar again, and it just hasn't got that same depth of bitterness all the way through.
The issue is when you don't make the caramel bitter enough, it becomes lollipop sweet.
When you were explaining a dish to the guys this morning, you spelt it out quite clearly. Salty, sweet, bitter, sour, umami. Has to be balanced. And the caramel here is really one of two sticking points for me. I think for me, it was just a leaf. Well, as you've seen, it was bendy.
Yeah.
It was more like a fruit leather than it was a leaf. At the end of the day, it is another excellent dish, but there are some differences here compared to the other two for me, for sure.
Reynold is certainly a perfectionist. You can see that in the way he works. And sometimes he probably overthinks it, from what I was seeing, by just changing slight things out of the recipe that...
Trust the process.
Exactly. So we always knew that the pumpkin leaves are the ones that will bring you down if they do. And he had a small apple as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reynold, your apple may have been a little bit small, but the balance of colours was the best of the bunch. And your stem was perfect. Laura, we unanimously agreed that yours ate better and was closer to Martin's, and that's why you're in the grand finale. And Reynold, I'm sorry to say, that means you're going home.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Reynolds, to us, you embody what this competition is all about. Your obsession with excellence and your relentless pursuit for perfection is what makes you one of the brightest and most promising stars of the MasterChef universe, as well as the Australian food industry. This season, you have given us some of the most memorable dishes that this kitchen has ever seen. Mind-blowing. We cannot thank you enough for that.
This competition has given so much. So happy to be here, like really. Second chances don't come around often. And it has been an absolute amazing experience.
Reynold, mate, you just got to celebrate how well you've done in this competition. You've inspired all of us, and I'm so proud of you, mate.
Thanks, thank you.
Reynold, it's been a privilege to spend time with you. We all can't wait to see what's next for you. But now, it's time to say goodbye.
Thanks, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Well done.
It was a bloody double, mate.
I feel pretty devastated. I really believed that I could win. But even though I didn't win, I'd say it was all worth it. It was all a journey. I don't know where it's gonna take me, but I know from here on, it's nowhere but up.